Hello and welcome to the Harmony SMP. My name is Weird and Bearded, and today we're going to be doing some more farming stuff. But before we do, there's a little bit of catching up. You can see there is a large pipe in front of me. We have finally connected up those two witch farms to the rest of the system. So the quad witch farm is now all connected up and ready to go. We're still waiting for more masons, but for now, let's find out what we're going to be working on today. It's the Blaze farm. This shouldn't be too bad. It's a pretty simple farm, a pretty deadly farm to build, but we'll do the best we can. So I'm going to head over to the nether, find a suitable blaze farm, and then we can get started. Well, I have found our blaze spawner. Unfortunately, I've been sat here figuring out exactly what I'm going to be doing with it, and a lot of blazes have spawned. Yeah, it's scary out here, so I think I'm going to fly away. We're going to despawn them, and then we'll talk about the plans. So, don't die. Just disappear. Hopefully, this should be far enough away for them to have gone. You can see I've already had to deal with a few. I've got some blaze rods. They are still there. Let's go nice and far this time. I'm just going to go right up against this wall. Okay, that was far enough. So clearly people have already been doing some blaze farming here, but not in a particularly safe way. So what we're going to do, we're going to clear out the area, take it down a few blocks, put a cage around them, and then use lava to funnel them into one spot for a little killing chamber. It is a very simple farm. Hopefully I don't die while I'm building it. Hopefully I have enough glass. Hi. Wonderful. I'm going to get a lot of blaze rods while I'm building this. So, we are just going to get up with this, I think. We can do this in one go. As I said, not a big build. Let's get started. Well, that was easy enough. We have our spawning chamber if I go into free cam mode, because obviously the lava gets in the way. So they spawn in here. The lava generally, really not always, but will eventually, slowly but surely, push them down into this little chamber, which will slowly but surely push them down into here. And then you can come along and swipe away with your sword. You can see I've gathered half a stack so far, but with all the blazes that I had to kill when making this, that actually puts me at enough blaze rods. So I'm just going to connect this to a path back there, and then we have a blaze farm. So that's the blaze farm complete and the blaze rods collected. There are another two small farms that I can be building now. So we're going to focus on those rather than going from our dropper. So we are going to be building the bee farm and the moss farm. I think we'll do the moss farm first. That's going to be connecting up to here. That's going to be in the overworld. the bee farm is going to be in the end, and I need to find myself some bee nests. I could use beehives, but let's be honest, bee nests are more fun. So I'm going to collect what I need for the moss farm, and we will start construction. I have picked a spot. We are between a couple of witch farms, as really we're always going to be. We're next to the shulker farm as well. I'm thinking we'll have a bridge coming up to here and across to there. We're going to have to build this platform out a bit, but we're going to do that later. We're going to be building a tree farm later on, so I'm going to wait until we get the birch from that before I build any more bridges. But in the meantime, we also have all of these resources, and we're going to be building this out over here. So I'm going to do this a little bit at a time. When I get to a point where it feels good to stop and explain what's going on, I'll stop and explain what's going on. But this is not a big build. I should get this up pretty darn quickly. And the sun's going down, so I think I'll sleep first. We have reached the first interesting stage, the bone meal collection. So all of the stuff from 2 of the 3 moss modules is going to be going into these composters, which will turn into bone meal and get sent up this tube. We also have a lot of redstone over here. So this is going to be part of the controller for the main circuit. So we have a dropper with an item in over here. We then have a hopper with 2 items in, just for timing purposes. So when the dropper gets activated, it will spit this item out. That will allow the items to pass between the hoppers, which will activate this system. Also, when this hopper gets deactivated, this torch will then activate this hopper, so it doesn't just go back and forth constantly. And that's going to activate some pistons up above, which we will see a bit later. Time to continue the build. Some more stuff has been added. You can see we've got a little waterfall going down there. That is because this is the 3rd module where we're not going to be turning this stuff into bone meal, so everything that appears is going to be falling straight down into here, and that's going to be going directly into my piping system, which will head off in that direction for a bit. Meanwhile, the bone meal is going to be going up above and then falling down into it. So we have our piping system in place. You'll notice we also have a load of stone. The stone is going to be turned into the moss. That's how we're generating everything. So we're going to have a little stone generator up here. These are fully extended pistons. You can see the lower half down there. So they can pull the stone down, and then we've got a row of sticky pistons and a row of regular pistons. They get activated from behind. So then once these move down, they push those 2 lines forward if they can. I say if they can because right at the end we have some signs. Signs cannot be pushed. So that way the regular stone doesn't get pushed all the way, but the moss will get broken. And that's how we're harvesting everything. So really the only system left to do is the stone generator and the moss growing. And then this farm will be done. So as you can see, the stone generators are in place. We've got our trapdoors there, which are waterlogged, so the water will flow underneath. The lava will then form stone on top of that, but also every now and then they will open, sending any items down here. We also have the moss farm bit, you know, the bit that actually makes more moss. So we have a dispenser facing into a moss block. Above that is a dropper. We've started off with a stack of bone meal. This will eventually grow until the entire thing is filled up. And then we have a sticky piston that pushes down an observer, which breaks whatever's on top of the moss block, because if there's something there, it won't work, and then powers everything. And then over here we have this complicated looking thing, which is simply a timing circuit. So we need this bit to activate every 3 times. So I just built up a little piston tape with a cauldron for one of the 3 items. So then whenever the cauldron goes in front of this comparator, it sends out the signal. So that's the moss farm theoretically working. So I turn it on, I put myself into camera mode. That is looking pretty good to me. The pistons are all activating. Yep, so yeah, we now have a moss farm. I need to connect it to the main area. So that is a moss farm complete. One more farm to do today. let's go get some bee nests. I have been hopping between meadows. I've been collecting some bee nests. I figured you might want to see that I have actually just been collecting them. I mean, I might have just placed that one. It might be one that somebody else has collected. You don't know. I'm just going to wait for these bees to pop back in. Come along. Where are you going? Am I just going to have to... I'm leaving you behind. You took too long. Well, that is 15 bee nests. Shouldn't take me too long to collect everything else. It's going to take me a while to get back home. We've built a blaze farm. We've built a bone meal farm. Now it is time for a bee farm. We have built in the nether. We have built in the overworld, and now it's time to build in the end. We've done a time lapse. We've done updates. Now it's time for a bit of both, if I can make this work. If not, well, we'll just have to see. So we are going to start off building out a bit. I need to go down, which is why I've got the bucket of water in here. So I'm going to go out 21 blocks. You're also going to see me referencing the schematic every now and then because, you know, that's how we build. Just generally, you don't see it as the audience, but today you're going to. So I need to go down. So I think let's use some blocks to build down with and some slabs as well. So if I bring my schematic up, I currently just have it showing the bottom layer so I can figure things out. So if I place water here, then I can have blocks going down. And then hopefully slab there, and now I have stuff to actually build off. So let me build out a nice platform that I can land on. And then I'm going to get the staircase up and probably the chests in as well. So from here, we are going to have some rails collecting all of the drops. So I need to grab a variety of things because we also need to make sure that the rails are going back and forth. So let's grab some of this stuff and the blocks of redstone. I'll grab some more polished andesite. Hopefully this will be enough for now. Let's see what happens. Oh, I also need one more hopper. So we put the barrel on top out of this hopper with a block next to it. It has a hopper leading into it. We have a comparator sticking out of that hopper, which leads into this block. That is going to have a torch on the outside. There's going to be a repeater here leading into this block, which is going to lead to some rail on this hopper. Now there will be a block between them, but that's going to be going up and down. So for now, I just need to build out the platform and get the rails in. So I want to see how many blocks out I go. 7. Okay, I'm going to get this built. And now that the platform's in, we can add in some rails. And then once we get the minecart in, that's going to be travelling back and forth. Now obviously at the end, currently it's just going to go off the edge, but we are going to be building this up. So at this point, normally the bee nests will be going in here. We're not going to be putting them in just yet because, of course, we don't want the bees escaping. We've got to get everything encased and then we'll get those in last. What we can do is start making some more connections. So let me go grab some slabs. And we are going to go out. Oh, yeah, some slabs, some stairs. So we have slabs out to here because this is where we are going to be having a lever, which is going to turn the entire farm on and off. So that's the block that moves up and down. And then we have a staircase here because, of course, we're going to need to be stocking this up with glass bottles. I imagine we're going to want one for honeycomb at some point, and I think it could look quite cool if you just built that directly on the other side. But for now, let's focus on this one. So I am going to get the sticky piston in. We'll get the staircase up to the chest. And we'll probably get that lever in as well. Just before we put anything else in, let's just make sure that minecart is moving properly. Just in case, you never know. Sometimes things get weird. So now those are in place, let's have a look at how a slice of this is going to work. So for each one, we're going to need a poppy. We'll have a row of flowers at the front. We don't really need to show it at this point, but I've placed it now, so oh well. This is all happening in one take, folks. From behind where the bee nest will be, we take a comparator output straight into a block. That is then going to go into 2 pieces of redstone. And then to a slab there. Then we take the redstone signal up. I believe up here, although this is going to be difficult for us to see. That's a block and that's a half slab. Good. Always good to confirm these things. So we have a block up there, then another slab with 2 more bits of redstone, and they go down into a repeater. Then we would normally have a block just there, but again we're going to have it pushed down by a sticky piston. So we can send that 1 block further up. Then we need to actually place that sticky piston in. And then we use the right tool to break the block. And I believe that is 1 slice. So now I'm going to get in the rest of those slices, including the poppies. So now that all of that's in, and that should all be working fine, of course, something I forgot to add. What are the repeaters actually going to be activating? They're going to be activating our dispensers. So I need dispensers facing down like that. And then hoppers facing down into them. But I think we'll get the dispensers in and then I'll put the hoppers down from above. So this chest is where we're going to be putting in the glass bottles. I don't have any yet, so we're not actually going to be activating the farm. But we'll be putting them in this chest so that they can feed into all of the dispensers. And of course, on the other side, that will be shears instead. So all we've got left to do, we need to connect the lever to this line as well, because we're going to have a redstone line going across above. I think we actually have it going a block too far just to make the roof symmetrical and still non-spawnable for the Enderman. So I'm going to get that connected, and then I may as well get this whole thing finished and build up the shell. And apart from the bee nests, that is it. So, here is the plan. We're going to break in, we're going to get the bee nests in, and then I'm going to try to get out using chorus fruit. This can only go well. Let's just confirm. Good, this is Silk Touch. So, hopefully, some of these have bees in. Oh, there we go. So obviously at some point we are going to need to come back and breed up some more bees. No, don't go down there, don't go down there. There, stay up here. Hadn't even thought about that. Okay. The bee nests are in. Can I get out? Perfect. So that is the bee farm complete. And there's plenty of bees in there that we probably don't need to do all that much breeding. But now I have a good couple of days before I need to think about uploading this video, so I'm going to spend some time AFKing at all of the new farms I've made. And hopefully make some significant progress with block collection. And with all that done, there is only 10 more types of block to collect. We are 28.5% of the way there. Those 10 types of block take up the majority of this. But the board is being filled up. And also, now that we have the honey farm, I can add the tree and dark oak farms to the list. And we are on our way there. But that is everything I have time for today. This episode is running a little long. So I'm going to say thank you all for watching. My name is Weird and Bearded. If you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time.